Hey. Can you like stop? Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought it would be fun to do a little video on all the things I've learned this first year of momhood. I made a little list on my phone, jotting down the things that I could remember. I'll probably go off tangent and say other things that when I think of them. I'll try to stick to the list. So if you don't know, my son turned 1 about a week and a half ago now. This first year has flown by so fast. I'll start with pregnancy. I know that's not really technically a part of being a parent. I mean, I don't know, you're preparing to be a parent, but I remember I was supposed to do a postpartum video following the video of my birth story, and I never really got around to it. I put to truly cherish the pregnancy. I would say like it goes quicker than you think it will. I feel like I cherished it, but looking back on it, I didn't do those special little things to document it that I wish I had. I put also to, this is more so speaking to my past self, if I can tell myself these things, but what I learned is to not be embarrassed. You don't feel your best when you're pregnant. Obviously you're, you know, going through the symptoms and you're walking around getting bigger, and it's hard to kind of feel confident in that. But I would say just know everybody is so much nicer to you when you're pregnant. People are nice, but I noticed a lot, like when I was out going to the grocery store, or even anywhere, just going anywhere, people are so polite and kind. Like they ask you if you need help, they let you go first in the line. I would say don't be embarrassed. It's not an embarrassing thing. It's really beautiful that your body can like make a human. So I put an emphasis to take pictures. I have said this a million times, but when I was pregnant, I was graduating college and I was having to do my internship during the summer, and that was the tail end of the second trimester for me. So I was really getting big and like actually experiencing the brunt of pregnancy in that time period. So for me, it became very like almost like a strain, almost like a chore. Like I didn't want to go into the internship. I didn't want to be out in the heat. I didn't really want to do anything but sleep and eat. But I think that kind of strained my experience a little bit, and I wish I had just taken more time to like take pictures. Did like take a few pictures here and there. Like, I would go in the bathroom and like take a bump date picture, but I wish I had like, I don't know, like better pictures. I guess that's what I'm saying. Like I wish I had maternity photos or like pretty announcement photos. Like I do have good gender reveal photos, but that's about it. Like I didn't make it to my baby shower. I didn't have baby shower photos, so that part for me is kind of like, man, like I wish I had that. But I do still have a few like casual photos in the bathroom or like little stuff, but I wish I took more pictures. I learned to prioritize my health and wellness after experiencing like preeclampsia and the emergency C-section. I don't know if it was preventable. They didn't say what caused it, but it's so like prevalent in Black women, and I just want to like do whatever I can to prevent that from happening again. I would definitely change my eating habits. In the beginning I was good about it because I remember I had a class and we were talking about pregnancy relating to exercise or something like that, and my professor was like, everybody says, you know, you're eating for two, but really you're not eating for two. The size of their stomach is like probably smaller than like a cherry, so it's really not like you're feeding like 2 full-size humans. It's hard because you're pregnant, you want to just cave in, like you don't care. I would say I would try my best to like really refrain from just indulging in everything I think of, because it's not good for you. The only thing I can draw it to was my diet was very bad during pregnancy, so I think that might have had something to do with it. There's no rhyme or reason, it kind of just happens to people sometimes. So next I put, don't let the horror stories scare you. So my whole pregnancy I was like, I don't know how I'm going to push this baby out. Like I have a very low pain tolerance, so I knew I was going to be enduring pain, but I kind of just like, I wasn't focused on it. But a lot of women will come up to you if they see you're pregnant. They'll tell you their birth story, like, unprovoked. Not a bad thing. Like, everybody wants, I guess, wants to share their story, which is cute because it's very like beautiful how everybody's story is not the same. Person tell me her birth story, and she was basically vomiting the whole time. She was like, she was in so much pain, and she ended up with like a grade 4 tear. And I was just like, oh, they say, I just want to prepare you, I just want to prepare you. And it's like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. Sometimes the details can make you, like, you know, even more anxious or more scared of like doing it, but your body is made to do it. I guess the next category, like subcategory of pregnancy, I put symptoms they don't tell you. You know the obvious symptoms, nausea, vomiting, but there's so many more, and I probably have even forgot some myself. As morning sickness is not just in the morning, it lasts all day long. It's just uncomfortable and it's annoying. Like, you can't eat anything without being sick or like just not feeling right. That was another thing, is the smell of everything. Just everything is heightened, so you smell everything. Like, it's like a super scent. You can smell anything. You can smell something that is in the room next to you. You can smell something down the street. You can smell something across the ocean. Like, I'm telling you, be prepared for those two. I don't know how safe this is, but I went to the one of my prenatal checkups, and she told me to smell rubbing alcohol, and I don't know how like safe that is, but it worked for me. Like, I had those little rubbing alcohol pads, and I used to just sniff them. So her peppermint oil, I haven't tried that one, but peppermint oil apparently helps with that as well. Next thing was sleeping is so uncomfortable in your 3rd trimester. A lot of people do know about this one, but like, they don't know the severity of it. Like, you actually will be waking up multiple times a night on top of having to pee. I remember getting up like 3 or 4 times a night and just having to go to the bathroom. You can't sleep on your back after a certain amount of time. I can't remember when, but you can't sleep on your back. I actually sleep on my stomach regularly. You can't sleep on your stomach, obviously, so your only options are either side. So yeah, the next thing was heartburn. I had it really bad. Eating anything, it just sat like right here. It was like it's gonna come up, but it never does. I had Tums with me all the time, everywhere, because anything I ate, it didn't matter if I ate a small portion, it still would just sit right there. So that was not fun either. And for me was migraines were pretty bad. I don't know if this was a symptom of the preeclampsia, but I did get really bad migraines. Like, when I was getting them like at least once a week, I think. The thing that helped, I remember one time I tried coffee. One time I did just cave in and take Tylenol, I think, but I really didn't want to take anything while I was pregnant, but I had to, like, it was that bad. And the last one I put was the odd cravings that you have may last past giving birth. I didn't start chewing ice until like my 2nd trimester, I think. I had this like obsession with ice, and I know that's like a symptom of having low iron. I still to this day chew ice. It's dying down. It's not as satisfactory to me anymore, but when I was pregnant, like, that's all I wanted, and even afterwards, that's all I wanted. I was hooked on ice. Like, I was so addicted to ice. I'm trying to stop, but like I said, it's a year later and I still chew ice. I'm trying to quit, yeah, I'm trying to quit, but yeah, I'll keep you updated. The other one was toothpaste. This started like late in my 2nd trimester too, I think. I just love the taste of toothpaste, and I didn't eat it, but I just would like unnecessarily brush my teeth because it was so like sad. Like, it was, I feel like your satisfactory, like your satisfaction, I don't know how to say it, but y'all, the things that are satisfying to you are like heightened in your pregnancy. So like, I would just brush my teeth just to taste the toothpaste on my tongue. Like, it was so good. Toothpaste was up there with the ice, but I stopped that one. I mean, toothpaste still tastes like alright, but not like it was when I was pregnant. In this category, I put like how your body feels after labor is it's very different. Like, a lot of people don't really explain like the feeling, because I guess everybody feels different, but I know in my experience I felt like my stomach muscles were just like detached from me. Felt like my stomach was hanging away from me. It was hard to control anything in that area because I had just been cut open. I think it's like, what, 7 layers or something like that. This was a big thing as well. After labor, you always think you're recovered enough to just go back to like life before, but you have to drop that mindset. Like, it takes a while to recover. Next thing is like about postpartum depression. I think in my head I was like, oh, I'm over the hump, like I don't really feel sad. I didn't feel any way that was like out of the ordinary for me, I guess. I was more so trying to take on and trying to do everything myself, like as if I didn't need help. But mine was definitely a very mild version. You would feel like so alone, feel like your whole life is changed and everybody else's gets to stay the same, which is like a selfish thought, because being a mom, you can't be selfish. Like, you have to be very selfless. I mean, it's normal to feel like, you know, what about me? Obviously, especially right after you have a baby. But yeah, I think that was the brunt of my depression. I didn't feel like my life was ever going to be the same. I think that's what it was. I was grieving my old life. That's 100% what my depression was. I was grieving like the old version of me. The whole summer I was in the house or I was at the clinic, because that's the only 2 places I would go. I was pregnant, like I didn't really have any friends like that. So after being like alone and kind of thugging it out for the whole summer, and then having everybody like not down my throat, but like kind of like wanting to help, wanting to do all these things, and I'm like, I got it, didn't accept that help, and then my body finally crashed. That was also a big part of it, but most of it was me grieving my old life. And you have to remember, you're a mom. It doesn't mean you have no life. It doesn't mean you can't take time for yourself. I promise you, after like 2 months, you're in the clear, really. Like, you got your routine, you're used to it. The baby, you kind of, your body gets a little more used to running off of no sleep. But those first few months, do not recommend. I remember when I came home from the hospital, I went in my grandma's bathroom and I looked in that mirror, and it was just such an out-of-body experience, because I didn't recognize myself. Like, your physical appearance changes so much. Yeah, I was a little heavier, obviously, because I had just given birth, and now it's like, okay, you see yourself not pregnant but just like a different size. It's just like, whoa, like, who is that? I learned to not tuck away my emotions. It's okay to talk. It's okay to just talk about how you're feeling. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna ask about the baby. Nobody asks about you. So if you just start talking about yourself, like, yeah, I've been feeling kind of down today, like, it's better to do that than just tuck it in. This is the hardest it will be mentally first few months. Really, I would say I didn't feel like myself. I didn't start feeling myself until about 6 months. It's like, okay, I can do this. Like, I can have a life and be a mom. I can, you know, do fun things. I can still get dressed up and look kind of cute. Your body is kind of getting back to where it was before, and your baby isn't as needy as a newborn. Give yourself 6 months to like really start to feel a little better and get over that postpartum hump for real. I will say though, like, I am just now 100% feeling like myself. So relationship while being new parents is very hard. You're not gonna have time for each other really. Our relationship was very rocky during the newborn phase. It's very normal. People don't talk about it enough, but you guys are going to have disagreements, and you just have to make a role for each other. Like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna take care of this, and y'all just do that,
because otherwise it's just gonna go up in flames. And if it does, you guys have to be able to communicate. Oh no Jace, no, I'm sorry, he's not letting me be great, so we're gonna have to finish it with him. The relationship it might not, but most of the time I'm gonna suffer a little bit.
just because the stress is a lot and you aren't getting any sleep. So that would affect anyone. So just like learn to not take things so personal, because you guys are both experiencing different emotions because you're not getting rest, like I said, and you have a new baby, you're trying to figure it all out. So yeah, give yourself grace, give each other grace, and just communicate. It's really that simple. Is communication is key. Talk about everything. Don't let little things draw you to like extreme decisions over something so small. What else did we put? Might have to cut this short because Jace like wants to be in this. No, it's okay to be away from your little baby in the first few months. That's where I think a lot of the stress on the mom comes from, is feeling like you have to have your baby 24/7. I definitely still to this day feel like I'm inconveniencing anybody that I leave him with. I mean, it's you do kind of need to be by your baby as far as if you're feeding them, breastfeeding them, but let yourself like go out for 30 minutes, get fresh air, go to the store, make sure you get that time for yourself to just remember what it feels like to be by yourself for a little bit and woosah, get some fresh air. I put make sure you document your labor experience. I'm so glad I made a video on my labor experience. Ask me right now, like the story, I'm gonna forget some parts because I actually don't remember. Like, piggybacking off of like the relationship stuff, allow your spouse or the other parent to have a chance to parent, if that makes sense. For me, I found myself feeling like, oh, I can do it, I don't need your help, oh, I can do it, or I do it this way, you should do it this way. Really try to not make that a habit, because it discourages the other parent from like wanting to parent. You want to allow the dad or whoever to parent how they parent, because they have to learn as well. And even if they don't do it exactly like you do it, they're not going to do it wrong on purpose. If they do it wrong, it's because they genuinely don't know. But if they're trying, so just let them try. If it's something super crazy, like, I don't know, putting on a diaper upside down, like, obviously tell them, no, you can't do that. I made you put formula in the bottle, then water. He may do water in the bottle, then formula. Like, that stuff doesn't matter. You let him like do it how he does it. If it turns out the same, it shouldn't matter. As long as it's not affecting the baby, like, just let them do it how they do it. It's fine. Last few things as far as a babe, I put this category as the baby category. Newborn baby is so stinking cute. It's so cute. But in the moment, you don't feel that way, and it's hard to appreciate it and cherish it in the moment. But just make sure you take lots of pictures, lots of videos. Pour into your baby. You'd be surprised how many things you can do with the newborn. It's not as obviously entertaining as like a toddler, because they can't do as much, but there's still little things that you can do with the newborn. Tummy time, skin to skin. There's little like black and white flashcards that you can show them at that age. They like to look at lights, like all that stuff. Document all the firsts, all of that. It's so fun. I put, do not let the things that they do send you into a panic, because newborns do such weird stuff. When I was pregnant, I was Googling everything, but even more so when he was freshly here. He used to do this weird thing with his eyes, and I remember being so scared. I'm like, oh my gosh, is my baby blind? But no, it's normal. That was the biggest one for me that scared me, and I was like, bro, do I have to take him to the hospital? A lot of the time, babies will have colic or be super gassy and irritable. So just really remember to give those baby stomach massages, do the bicycle legs. Gripe water is a lifesaver. Millicone drops are really good as well. Helped us a lot, because Jace was a very gassy baby. Yeah, you were. Usually a pediatrician or doctor or whatever will have a 24-hour nurse helpline that you can call and just call and ask them. Like, you don't have to rush your baby into the ER. I mean, obviously if they're like acting crazy, like lethargic or not themselves, then yes, like go to the hospital. But certain things is normal, but they just don't tell you like what to expect. So yeah, don't be scared if your baby goes cross-eyed. That's normal. I said practice being patient with your infant. A lot of the time you are gonna get so worked up about them not being settled as easily. You're gonna try burping them, you're gonna try feeding them, you're gonna try putting them to sleep and nothing's working. That's when you need to step away. If you feel that rage building up, just step away, give your baby to someone else or lay them in their bassinet somewhere safe. Just make sure you are good so they can be good. Last thing, but the most important thing, is making sure you are strong in your faith during this time. Really pray during those times that are hard. It is challenging, y'all. Like, I would say like the newborn phase was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. Really take this time to tap into your faith, you know, talk to the Lord about any and all your troubles. Just know that it will pass. You will be okay. Everything that's happening is supposed to happen, and you got this. Like, you can do it. A baby is obviously a huge responsibility, but it's a huge blessing as well. Know that it gets better. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you may have learned something, or this will help you if you're pregnant or expecting soon. Let me know what other videos you guys would like to see from me. Say happy birthday to Jace. And we will see you guys in the next video.